Hi, and welcome to Creative Expression about our spiritual journeys. My name is Fran Belvin. I'm a retired licensed art therapist, but this is not a therapeutic program. This is just self-care. So if you find that you have memories or emotions that come up, please seek out someone to talk to, either a minister or a licensed counselor. Having said that, I think it's a good idea, if you do this program, to have someone that you talk to about it when you're finished. It might be an interesting conversation with someone close to you. All right, let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is find some paper. You can use printer paper or a sketch pad, whatever you have is fine. And find some things to draw with, such as magic markers, oil pastels, crayons, colored pencil, really whatever you have is fine. Another option would be to use a digital graphic device, such as a tablet or an iPad. So while you're gathering those materials, you can put the video on pause, and I'll see you in a moment when you come back. Welcome back. Now that you've got your materials, let's get started. The agenda. First, we're going to get comfortable with art materials. Most adults haven't done any sort of art in a long time, so this is just a way to get comfortable using magic markers and crayons. Then we'll do a check-in drawing, which is just a drawing about how you're feeling today. Next, we'll really get into the meat of the workshop, which is our spiritual journeys. We'll start with a brainstorm, listing everything about your spiritual journey that you can remember. And then after that, you'll have a chance to do a visual representation of your spiritual journey. And I'll talk you through some ways to do that. And then we'll close. So that's what you have to look forward to. Our purpose here really is to reflect on our journey. You don't have to worry about making good art. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just relax and enjoy the process. Let's take a breath. The first activity is playtime. Get those art materials out and fill up an entire sheet with marks. You can make dots, lines, scribbles, push hard, push lightly. Just try your different materials and see what kind of different marks they make. So fill up a whole page with just experiments. Then put that aside and do a second page using your 3 favorite colors that you've discovered and your 3 favorite marks that you made, and fill that whole sheet with your favorites. Okay, pause the video, and when you're ready, come back. Welcome back. How was that? Please take a few moments and just write your impressions about the experience of drawing and coloring. Think about your thoughts. What were you thinking about while you were doing it? Did you have any memories? Did you have any feelings? And just make some brief notes about that. Pause your video now. Our next activity is going to be a check-in drawing. Do a drawing that shows how you feel today, kind of what's going on with you. And I'd like you to do it without drawing a picture of anything. So you're just going to use lines, shapes, and color. So it will be abstract. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this, and it doesn't have to be good art. Just see if you can express what's going on with you right now. I'll see you in a minute. Pause that video. Welcome back. Now we're going to write a little bit about doing the check-in drawing. Only I want you to do it in kind of an unusual way. Pretend that you are the actual drawing and you're speaking as the colors and shapes that you've drawn. So for instance, if you have a big red zigzag, you could write, "I'm red and energetic and ready for anything." Or if you have a pale green area, think about what that might mean and say, "I'm pale, I'm tired, I feel like resting today." So you get the idea. Speak as if you are your drawing. Pause your video now and do the writing exercise. I'd like you to do another written exercise based on all of the drawing that we've done so far. Think about how you felt while you were doing it, if you had any memories while you were doing it, and just your general impressions of doing the drawings. Pause your video. Now we're ready to dig into the spiritual journey part of this workshop. We're going to start with a brainstorm. So I'd like you to make a list of everything you can think of related to your spiritual journey. Think about spiritual communities you've been a part of, perhaps different organized religions, classes you've taken, people you've met along the way that have influenced you. Think about your activism. Does that have a spiritual connection for you? This is a brainstorm. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just make a list of the things you can think of related to your spiritual journey. Pause your video now. You've got a good list now of spiritual experiences, so we're going to turn this into a visual depiction of your spiritual journey. I have several ways that I've thought of that you might want to approach it, or you can come up with something yourself. The first one is a timeline. For that, you place your paper horizontally and draw a line across the middle of the paper, and that's the timeline of your life. And you make a mark for every 10 years of your life. 0 to 10, make a mark, 20, make a mark, 30, and so on through the rest of your life. And then in that section, in that first 10 years, you can write everything that happened in your spiritual journey during that time and do so all the way through. If you want to, you can write positive things that happened and experiences on the top part of the line, and more challenging or difficult things that happened on the bottom part of the line. That's an option. Be sure to use colors, shapes, and marks to help express your feelings about these experiences. The second way that you might want to do this is to think of it as a map. Think of your spiritual journey as different locations that you've visited. Now that might be a certain community that you were part of, or perhaps a certain set of practices that you engaged in, or just a period of your life where you were reading certain books. But you can configure a map however you like. Again, be sure to use colors, shapes, and marks. The third way you might want to approach this is to draw a flower. In the center of the flower is a circle, and there are petals around that circle. In the circle, you can draw a picture of your face, or you can put a symbol there for your spiritual journey. And in each petal are different experiences or portions of your spiritual journey. You might need more petals, and if you do, you can add those to the outside of your flower, as many as you need. As before, use colors, shapes, and marks to help express your feelings about these experiences. So you can use any of those three options, or you can make up your own option of how you want to depict your spiritual journey. But take some time now, and using the list you came up with when you did your brainstorm, put those into your depiction of your spiritual journey. Pause your video and come back when you're done. Looking over your depiction of your spiritual journey, notice now what sort of patterns you see, any insights you've had, and maybe some current or future questions or interests that you have. Take a few moments and make some notes about that, and come back when you're finished. Our final exercise is to reflect on the work you've done today. I'd like you to come up with 2 things that you're taking away with you today. One is about your spiritual journey, something you discovered or noticed. And the second is about your creative expression, the drawing and the writing that you did. Maybe something you enjoyed about that, or something that was challenging about it. So take a moment and do your written reflection, pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Welcome back. This brings our workshop to a close. I've really enjoyed working with you today, and I hope you've enjoyed the experience as well. Take care.